Chief Inspector from West Midlands County Terrorism Unit back in the UK. This is my first trip to India, I'm really grateful to be invited along to share some of our experiences with you. I suppose I need to confess really that I'm standing in front of you to talk about the synergy between manpower and technology when I can't even turn my mobile phone onto international roaming this morning, so I'll do my best to give you some examples. I'm just a simple local police officer from the West Midlands who spent the last few years working in the counter-terrorism network within the UK. So I thought it's probably helpful for me to just share some examples of where technology has enhanced the way that we work as a CT network. And I've chosen a variety really. I guess what I want to try and do is get across a couple of messages. One is the importance of partnership working. The police forces and security services can't reduce and prevent crime or prevent a terrorist attack on their own. It needs to be in partnership with communities, and particularly industry and business community. And the second message is really about the significance of technology and how it can make or improve our ability to protect our city. So the first example I just wanted to briefly cover is around the flight path protection team. So back in the UK, we've got a number of teams across the country that are responsible for protecting the flight paths in and out of the United Kingdom. And they couldn't do their job without technology, so they use a software system called SAMPRAS, and that system identifies the flight paths in and out of all the major UK airports, and identifies vulnerable locations right across that area where somebody could launch a ground-to-air missile attack. And the officers have got quite a large area to cover, and without that technology they wouldn't be able to prioritise the vulnerable locations. And using that technology they're able to map the geography around their area of responsibility and adopt patrol strategies to ensure that they're visiting and assessing each of those vulnerable locations on a regular basis. They've also started to use FaceWatch technology. I believe FaceWatch have got a store here today to interact with the local community, so the community can play a part in reporting suspicious incidents direct to the flight path protection team to help them to respond effectively to any suspicious activity. The second example is the Community Safety Security Centre, the CSSC, which was set up in London originally to assist with the planning and response to incidents during the London Olympics in 2012. The CSSC is a multi-agency intelligence centre or control centre where security services and local police can share information very quickly with the business community and industry and get real-time information out to local businesses and then share that information across a wide network right across the United Kingdom. It's been such a success that that's now been introduced into Scotland and also the north of the UK. And we're considering a similar site within the West Midlands in Birmingham City Centre. But that just simply uses email systems and telephone systems to get messages out really quickly. Without that hub, if you like, that centre where you can share information, it's very difficult to get that information out quickly. What we're able to do is get information around major incidents, particularly that will affect city centres, and share that with industry so they can put their own response plans into place. The third example is around CCTV, and there is lots of evidence to show that CCTV reduces crime as a deterrent. So your burglar that's intending to break into a dwelling house can be deterred when they see a CCTV system in operation. But with a terrorist, it's unlikely to deter them. But what it does do is enable industry, businesses, the local community and the police to monitor and watch for hostile reconnaissance, which is a really important message to get across. Because with the right CCTV system, with the right quality and the right trained people operating that system, cities are able to watch and look out for suspicious activity, which hostile reconnaissance, which normally precedes some form of attack. And we certainly saw that with the London bombings, the 7/7 attack. The individuals involved in that incident were shown to have spent many hours within London checking out the local geography and for vulnerabilities and the levels of security that were in place. The fourth one, I think has been mentioned a number of times, is around command and control and how technology can be used to prioritise and task resources effectively. The old days back in the UK, it would have been a uniformed sergeant sat at a desk listening to answering the radio and then trying to find an officer out on the street that might be available to go and respond to an emergency incident. But now we use technology with mapping GPS to have a real clear picture where all our resources are across a police division, and so we can deploy the most effective response in the shortest amount of time. And then the final one that I wanted just to quickly share with you was around the use of social media and social media scanning. Again, that was mentioned earlier by another speaker. But I've certainly seen in the last couple of years a massive increase in the use of social media by terrorist networks, people involved in extremism. And social media is being used to coordinate and plan terrorist activity. In fact, some of the terrorist organisations are probably ahead of us as an organisation when it comes to embracing social media. But what we do is scan social media we use a system locally called Cassane, but there are other software products out there. And that product, that software could be used to scan for trigger comments, words, right across all the social media networks. So you can get an early understanding of what's being trending, if you like, or tweeted, or whatever it is on the different social media sites. It gives you an early heads up, if you like, in terms of what's being spoken about within the world of social media, within local communities. And that can help to provide help us to understand what type of response we need, whether that's some additional community engagement with local communities, or whether it needs to be a more robust response to a particular location. So there's just a few examples from my current role within CTU, all really valuable in helping us to work in partnership with businesses and industry and local authorities to protect our major cities and vulnerable locations.